All right, there we go. So I'm gonna do a quick video here, and obviously. So this video is going to just be me talking about basically what I concluded from the Apple Advanced Data Protection situation in the UK. So I heard about it, and then there was speculation, and from what it seemed like, it was like the general consensus was there's no way that Apple is going to comply with like either backdoor access into their encrypted services with the advanced data protection in the cloud. So, my understanding is that that basically they're just giving front door access now instead of backdoor access. Like backdoor being unknown. Front door, usually you're going to see someone coming in the front door. So it seemed like there's a specific term for this, I believe, but there are like technical requests from the government that make it so that the people who are being requested to provide this information aren't able to even say anything about the fact that they've been requested to give up this user's information. And I don't know the whole process on it, but at the end of the day, this is a possibility. So as a nerd, it's like, what, man? That's messed up, dude. That's fucking crazy. So that's not cool. It's just from a principle standpoint, that's not cool. And then there's a lot of other people are like, well, if there's nothing to hide, what are you worried about? And it's like, well, why are you even using advanced data protection if you got nothing to hide then anyways, So we're at the point where, you can just get hacked. You could like get hacked and someone could put something like in your stuff to set you up. I mean, you could just be doing some research and like, I don't know, maybe you get like flagged or analyzed for researching something. It's just really weird. So then you're not able to like use your device freely because you're like, I don't know, man. You don't know, like maybe some weird person's gonna get in power and they'll be like, anyone whose favorite color is purple, like get them, And you're like, shoot, man, I love purple. So who knows, man? These things get put in place and then they're in place and then other stuff evolves. So that's basically my ramble on that. And sorry, buddy. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, what do we do? So basically what I'm doing is, and I already use Proton anyway, so I'm just like, okay, now there's like a little extra push to migrate from the Apple products, Apple services, not products, sorry, Apple services to other services. So then it's like, well, what other services would be safe? I don't really know. At this point, it seems like Proton Mail with Proton Drive, Proton Calendar, and then with Proton Drive, you can use Proton Docs and for collaboration. But anyways, it wasn't a full thing like the iCloud photo library. There's not really an alternative. Proton has photo backup, so you can do that. So my approach is going to be it's going to be a hybrid departure from iCloud. So whatever iCloud services that I'm using, iCloud Drive, boom, easily, I'll just switch that over to Proton Drive. I already have a plan, so it makes sense. I like to test stuff out and just kind of use it, and it's fun. It's fun, But at the same time, it's a serious thing too. Maybe not too serious for me, but there are people who maybe do important research for whatever reason, I don't know. Or any other reason, man. There are just tons of reason. Like this stuff is actually kind of important to be secure and protected. And it's kind of creepy, like, because there was the UK government is able, from what I was reading, it seems like somehow it's not limited to like UK users. So, but, you know, so that being said, maybe if you're not using the advanced data protection, like then and you're a US citizen, but like the UK is trying to look at, anyways, man, it's just crazy. So it's like, you know, just try to find some alternatives. And if we're techie, then it's kind of fun. You know, the big thing is to not be like a fanboy and to use the best product for the results. And, you know, principles to some degree, I think. I don't know. There's so many ways to look at it. But anyways, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be migrating my data off of iCloud, because you can kind of just see like that might come this way. And anyways, it's interesting to stay on top of and just be aware of this. And so basically you have like a threat model, and I'm just kind of migrating away from the Apple services. It just, yeah. So I still use the products. So I still have an iPhone 16 Pro. I've got an iPhone 13 Pro. I've got a Mac Mini with the M1. I've got a MacBook Pro 14-inch with the M1 Max. I've got the Apple TV 4K. I've got the Apple TV HD. I've got 2 HomePod minis. I've got the Apple Watch Ultra. I've got the Apple Wallet that goes onto the phone. I use AirTags. I use the HomeKit smart plugs. I use... What else do I even use, man? I use a lot of stuff. So, and I'm a heavy user. I use the universal control. I use AirPlay all the time. The Time Machine backups from the computer, I use those too. I use Apple Music. I have iCloud Plus, you know. I'm pretty heavy into the Apple ecosystem. So I'm basically just going to kind of use their products, but not their back-end services anymore as the threat model. And even if it's just like a peace of mind thing, you know, I don't know, I'll just feel a little better. And I'm a nerd, so I like doing this kind of stuff. It's interesting to think about. You kind of come up with different plans. Anyways, that's a long ramble on, I guess, my initial reaction to what we're seeing with the with Apple's advanced data protection service in the UK. I'm in the US though, so, but it seemed like it still somehow affected me. And it seemed like it was kind of Apple playing their card, being like, these guys are making us do this and we don't want to do it. So this is their way of letting us know, like, hey, they're trying to do this. Like, we don't want to have to do this, but they're making us do this. Not to be an Apple fanboy or anything like that. Right away, I thought that they like were traitors. You know, I was like, man, traitors of security. And then I was like, oh, wow. I think that they actually did a good thing by doing this and bringing attention instead of just letting the backdoor thing happen, which would have been bad for them and us. Now it's like mainly just bad for us. And then now the cards are in our hands to be like, well, in the people in the UK to be like, hey, what is this? Anyways, so there we go. That's the Apple's advanced data protection reaction.